Hello there, my little darlings. Welcome to Grandma Dora's Lunchtime Stories. Have you got your tummies full and your ears wide open? Good, because today I have a special story just for you. It's about a boy named David who had plenty of toys but never wanted to share. Let's begin. David had the biggest, most colorful toy collection in the entire neighborhood. He had cars that zoomed, robots that beeped, and stuffed animals so fluffy they looked like tiny clouds. But there was one problem. David never, ever shared. When his classmates came over, they would excitedly ask, "David, can we play with your toys?" But David would shake his head so fast you'd think he was a bobblehead doll. "Nope, these are mine. If I share, they might get lost, or worse, broken." At first, his friends tried to convince him. They promised to be careful, to take turns, to put the toys back where they belonged. But every time, David would cross his arms and refuse. Eventually, his friends stopped asking. They found other games to play with each other. So there David sat, surrounded by his mountains of toys, all alone. One afternoon, David's neighbor, little Luke, came over to visit. Luke didn't have many toys, and his eyes sparkled with excitement when he saw David's huge collection. "David, can I play with your toy train?" he asked, his tiny hands reaching out. David quickly pulled the train away. "No, it's mine," he snapped. Just then, David's mother walked in and saw what happened. She knelt beside David and said, "Sweetheart, toys are more fun when you share. Imagine how happy Luke would be if you let him play too." But David only pouted. He didn't want to take the risk. Later that evening, disaster struck. David was playing with his favorite toy soldier when, crunch! Someone accidentally stepped on it. His most beloved toy was now in tiny broken pieces. David's heart sank. He cried and cried, hugging the remains of his soldier. Now, he was even more determined never to share. "If I don't let anyone touch my toys, this will never happen again," he thought. The next day at school, David sat on the playground, rolling his toy truck back and forth in the sand. But it wasn't fun, not really. From the corner of his eye, he watched his classmates playing together. They were laughing, giggling, chasing each other around. Tim had a soccer ball, and everyone was taking turns kicking it. Lucy had a skipping rope, and her friends were jumping and counting in perfect rhythm. David sighed. Why does playing alone feel so boring? Just then, vroom! Something zoomed past him. It was the coolest, fastest, shiniest toy car he had ever seen. It had flashing lights, made real engine sounds, and could even flip in the air. And guess who had it? Ben, the new kid. David's eyes widened like saucers. He wanted to play with that car so badly. So for the first time ever, he walked over and asked, "Ben, can I have a turn with your car?" Ben looked at him and smiled. "Sure, but let's play together." David blinked in surprise. Just like that? No arguing? No begging? Ben simply handed the car to him. And oh, was it fun! They took turns zooming the car down the playground, making funny sound effects and setting up ramps with small rocks. Other kids noticed the fun and joined in, bringing their own toys. Soon the entire class was playing together, laughing and cheering. For the first time, David was having real fun. At the end of playtime, David hesitated before running home. He looked at his own toy truck, then at Ben's smiling face. Taking a deep breath, he held out his truck and said, "Ben, do you want to play with my truck tomorrow?" Ben's grin grew even bigger. That would be awesome. The next day, David brought not just his truck, but a whole box of toys. His friends were shocked. "Are you really sharing?" they asked. David nodded with a proud smile, and from that day forward, playtime was never lonely again. And that, my dear little ones, is how David learned that sharing makes everything more fun. When we share, we don't just give away a toy, we invite others into our joy. So always remember to share, and you'll never play alone. Now don't forget to come back for more Grandma Dora's Lunchtime Stories. Until next time, keep being kind, keep being sweet, and always remember, sharing is caring. Bye-bye, my darlings.